Weekly Gear Update is brought to you by Mid-South Shooter Supply.
Hi, and welcome to the Weekly Gear Update. I'm Ed Mobley.
And I'm Steve Lawrence.
And today we have a really exciting book to talk about from our friend Marcus Blanchard.
In fact, I've been seeing this book turn up more and more as we talk to people and encounter them. I see him kicking back with this book, and I'm like, hey, I got to get a copy of that.
Well, and what's interesting about the book is a common question that we get is, hey, I'm a beginning shooter or I'm an intermediate shooter, and I need some guidance. I need some help. So I'm just really excited about the book that Marcus has come up with, because it's really just a great one-stop shop for people who want to get up to speed in the sport.
So Marcus's book is called Practical Shooter's Guide. Now we should probably start off with who is Marcus Blanchard. Marcus actually gives a brief history at the front of the book. But he's always been involved in shooting since a young age. Started off in NRA high power and things like that. He served in the Marine Corps, was trained as a sniper, and then when he got out, started to compete in PRS style matches and events. Now, one of the hallmarks of what this discipline of precision rifle shooting is all of the unconventional shooting positions. It's not something like FTR where you're going to lie down prone or bench rest or shooting off a bench. You're taking your rifle and you're actually shooting in field type conditions off of rocks, trees, whatever is at hand, whatever prop or obstacle or barricade there is. And you've got to come up with a way to build a stable shooting position quickly in order to get your shots off and hit the target.
Right, and in many cases, the way you kind of learn these things was either through observation, word of mouth, coaching, or you just kind of discovered it, by accident. And what I like about this particular book is while it covers certain fundamentals, it talks about different ways that you could shoot off a rooftop or shoot off a barricade or a tripod, and we've become reasonably experienced shooters, and even I got new insights from reading this book.
Yeah, and I think what you'll find is it's a very easy read. Big font and typesetting. So, guys at our age won't need to get out their reading glasses. There are a ton of illustrations, so all of the concepts, all of the things that he's telling you are fully illustrated, so you're not having to form a mental picture in your mind of what it is that he's talking about. The other thing is, this is really geared towards, the stuff that we do, which is the PRS style type of matches, the field shooting. There's a lot of stuff when you actually look through, we'll give you a snapshot of the table of contents. There's a lot of information in terms of the things that you would typically encounter in these types of matches, all the way from, your positional, prone, standing, kneeling, leaning off barricades, kneeling off, rocks, tree stumps, rooftops, what have you. A lot of that stuff is covered in this book.
Right, and what I also appreciate is there are certain things he doesn't go into. I mean, he doesn't...
wind reading.
Yeah, wind reading, because he acknowledges, there are complete books written on that, and quite honestly, most of the seminal works around wind reading are very translatable to what we do. The same with hand loading, some other things, and so I appreciate the fact that he didn't try and make a half-hearted effort just to say, oh, I covered wind reading and hand loading, because honestly, there's lots of good material elsewhere.
The other thing that he covered that I appreciated were just practice regimens. Gives you some ideas and some thoughts in terms of what are things that you can utilize, such as video or different training drills and techniques.
Well, he's a big fan of dry firing, and as am I. I've broken enough firing pins. I have a collection of them because I'm an obsessive dry firer. But he also gives a nice little regimen, a dry firing regimen that you can do at home. So maybe I don't have to be so obsessive. Maybe I can maybe I can curtail my regimen a bit by taking his advice here in the book. But to your point, I read this on a cross country flight. It was it's a one sitting book, right? Yeah, absolutely, and it's also available. You can get it on your Kindle.
Yeah,
which
so
is nice,
available,
yeah.
On Amazon digitally or hard copy, or if you know Marcus, give him a call.
Yeah, and if you have some specific questions, he's very available.
Yep,
and they also have a chapter in here on shooting through different types of brush, which I found interesting because sometimes you're in those situations where you just can't avoid shooting through at least some tall grass, and so his observations I think were pretty interesting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we would highly
recommend it.
Yeah, highly recommend it. We're going to have a write-up, as we do for all of our videos, on our website, 65guys.com, along with links where you can purchase it. But just you can even just go to Amazon and look up Practical Shooter's Guide, and you'll find it there, both hard copy and Kindle copy.
All right, folks. So that's a review of the book. 2 thumbs up from both of us. And remember, life's an adventure.
Stay on target.